Welcome to Ponchatoula Live, the show where we make it easy for you to connect with the people of Ponchatoula. And today we're going to connect with some of the most exciting women to ever walk the streets of Ponchatoula. They are the toast of the town. They are the big deal, big news in our little town these days. And that, of course, is the state champion Ponchatoula High Lady Wave is here with us today. Coach, ladies, on behalf of all the town of Ponchatoula, thank you. Congratulations. We are so proud of your achievement. Thank you for coming on the show. This is just great. Coach Tricia, if you don't mind, if I can start with you, because I know you're the only person besides me that's been on Ponchatoula Live before. A little over a year ago, last January, we interviewed you. You had just won your 200th game at that time. Your interview was a big popular, I think close to 4,000 people watched it. So if you don't mind, why don't we start off with you just kind of bringing us up to speed a little bit on what this season's been like. You know, just tell us about what the last year's been like. And of course, later we're going to dig into the details of this state championship.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you for having us on today. This is amazing for all of us. So it's been a fun road. Last May, after we lost out last year, these girls came to me and they were ready to get after it. They didn't like that taste they had in their mouth. And so we had tryouts in May, and then June we had summer league. We went every Tuesday and Thursday in June. We went to several different basketball camps, collegiate camps, and got a lot better there. We had our own kids camp that we had over 120 kids at PARD that we'll be hosting again this year. Hopefully hopefully we get bigger than that. And then in July we did CrossFit right across from you. And yeah, that was fun. We did that for 6 weeks in July and August. Then September we started with the North Oaks trainers. They came in and worked with us 2-3 days a week and pushed these girls really hard and to the next level. And we kept them the whole entire season. We actually had a workout with them the day before we played Walker, and then they gave us some activities to do the day after. And we did them. The girls were diligent with everything they did and believed in the system and rose to the occasion. And I can't thank them enough. But we started our practice in October, started our season in November. And most of the time when high school kids have holiday breaks, November we're over in Lafayette at St. Thomas More for three days for a tournament. Then Christmas came along. We're up in West Monroe between Christmas and New Year's. Then right after New Year's, we're down in New Orleans for 4 nights for a tournament there. We go and we play the best teams in the state. And that our record is 35-2. But when you look at the teams we beat, it's phenomenal. I cannot tell you how proud I am of these girls.
As you should be. I mean, what a remarkable season. And it sounds like y'all got no breaks, right? While the rest of us are drinking eggnog at Christmas, eating turkey at Thanksgiving, you guys were butts in the gym. I saw a lot of nodding when you were talking about North Oaks trainers and all the hard work you girls did to come back. And Coach, you mentioned the Walker game. My wife works at Walker High School, so I've been hearing a lot about that game from her. And so she's got, you know, the losing perspective of things. So you guys have made us so proud. One thing I want to ask about, Coach, you mentioned your kids camp. And did you say you had 120 kids come out to PARD?
Yes, sir.
Well,
yes, sir.
I've got 2 little boys, and one's not old enough to play basketball yet, but my kindergartner has his last game of the season coming up. And he got so excited to hear that I was going to get to talk to you guys here today, to actually speak, with the state champs directly. So I promised him I would put it's very important for him to see his ball on the show. So Luke, if you're watching at home, here's your basketball, just like I promised. Let me ask you ladies a question. I assume most of you came up through the PARD system, playing PBA, out there on Hoover Road. I see a lot of nodding. What does it mean to you to be an inspiration to the little kids in this town? Because I'm coaching my little boys team with Marshall Graves. I'm sure all y'all know Mr. Marshall, Amora's dad. And those little 5- and 6-year-olds that we coach just go wild for y'all. Y'all are celebrities around town with these little kids. What's that mean to you when, not that long ago, you were one of them?
Well, I mean, I just think that with the town, like Ponchatoula, and the support they've given us. I mean, with us starting from 5 years old and up, I mean, my mom actually wrote a poem talking about little eyes on us and how now that we're in high school, I mean, all of us, they're in the stands, and that was us. At one point, we were watching my older girls, and that was our dream. So now we, they're looking at us and watching us do our dreams and hoping for the same thing. So.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, they're totally watching you. Little girls who want to be you one day, and little boys who want to be like you one day. They want to be champions. They want to be ballers, and it's so neat that you guys know that, because I was pretty self-centered when I was in high school, and most of my friends were too. And probably the last thing we were thinking about was paying it forward to the next generation. So great to see such a talented group of young women be centered, be grounded, and be altruistic, thinking about those little eyes on you, as you said, and your mom put it in her poem. I want to share, speaking of eyes being on you, little eyes and big eyes together, we've got a comment. Comments have started to come in here live, and you, of course, recognize the first person here. Coach Lauren Long says that she's so proud of y'all, okay? And, of course, Coach Long has been helping Coach Tricia for many years. Y'all can tell me what a big part of your program is. That'll be, so spoiler alert, that's the question we'll get to after these comments. I'd like one of y'all to tell us about Coach Long and what she means to you and what she brings to the team. But for any of you watching live at home, and I can see here from the screen that there are plenty of you, please know that you have the ability to share your comment with the team. So if you'd like to join Coach Long in telling these girls how proud you are, or if you have a question for them, what was it like to win the big game, whatever, feel free to put your question, your comment, on here, and I'll do my best to share it with the women while we're going through here. And I see Tamara Lewis, an old friend of mine that I went to PHS with, has commented, "Congratulations, ladies." Dawn Lennox is showing you love. Gary Walls says hi. Leston Leroy Satoon, everybody knows him. He's a forever Strawberry King and just a great guy around town. He says, big shout out to the Ponchatoula Lady Wave. And Miss Faye Ivaniski, one of my favorite women around here, says she's so proud. And she knows, Coach Tricia, your dad, Mr. Dennis, has a big smile on his face up in heaven and must be so proud. We know how much it meant to him when you won your first state championship. He was such a proud papa of all your success, and he must be really, really impressed with these girls. Coach Drake, Jennifer Howes Drake, another one of my former high school classmates, comes on here to pay tribute to you guys. Says you're a great group of young women and coaches. The Green Wave family is so proud of all the years of hard work and a roll wave. And folks, those of you watching at home and you're like, dude, why are you reading all this to me? Bear in mind, these women are looking at a very small screen from afar away. And the girls may be young enough to still read that tiny print, but I won't call Coach Landaiche out, but maybe she's like me and she can't. So for their benefit, I'm going to keep reading this to you. Coach Jeremy Harper says, roll wave from the biggest fans, the Lady Wave softball team. They got your back. Tamara says, hey to her beautiful niece, Amaya. So now I know why she's looking. Beautiful niece, if you want me to tell you how beautiful your aunt was in high school, let me know. I got plenty of time later, and I can really dish on Aunt Cortana Lewis. That's my girl. We sat next to each other in home room for 4 years straight. She's a dear friend. I just love the whole family. Mr. Joan, everybody's just great in that family. Speaking of strawberry royalty, we had the King Satoon on earlier. We have here former Queen Emily McNeely Matisse, who says, thank all of you for making her great niece, Adeline Godin's dreams come true. She will treasure her signed basketball forever. And that was so neat. When I saw that picture on Facebook of her getting the ball from you, I was so excited because she's a neighbor of ours and a classmate of my little boys. And I see her practicing all the time in the neighborhood. And she was on Luke's T-ball team. She's a sweet little girl. But talk about little eyes on you. I mean, you're her heroes. Dawn Keen, and guys, I'm sorry. I know y'all are like, hey, I thought you brought me on here to talk, Parker. But the comments keep coming in. You're just that popular. So I got to keep reading them. Dawn's back here, says, go Morgan and team and coaches. I knew we'd get some A-Bears rolling through the house, Coach. Jill A-Bear Bienvenue here says, loves her aunt and she still has no voice, right? After all that screaming, roll waves. And Coach Mark Verbois, who deserves credit for helping set this up. I don't think any of us had the tech game to get this interview going with the mic and all that and the backdrop, but Coach Mark helped us. He says, congratulations from the Ponchatoula boys basketball program. They are so proud of you, and your hard work has paid off. And recent Ponchatoula Live guest and musical legend of our area, James Gibbs Jr. says, awesome job, coach and young ladies. So, folks, we got a lot of comments coming in. I thank you for those. I thank everybody for tuning in. But it's time to turn back to these ladies for a second. So I gave you a preview of the next question. Coach Long, I think, was the first comment on here of many so far. She's been a big part of your program. Tell us about Coach Long and then the other assistant coaches that are not on screen right now, what they contributed, what they mean to you as a team.
Well, we do have 5 coaches, which is kind of a lot for a regular team. You know, usually want to have maybe one side coach or 2, but we do have 5. And each one plays such an important role to our success. Each one has such an important role just in general. I think Coach Long, I play volleyball with Coach Long too. She's my head coach, and she's just one of the most supportive and caring people we know. She specifically buys purple gummies for Taylor and Jalen. They love
That's
always
funny.
asks rollers. She's just always truly looking out for us, always sending us words of encouragement in our group chat. Just a truly sweet person. Coach Gill, she's kind of the voice of the players. She's kind of our sane coach, we call her. And she keeps us, calm. And then Coach Dana, she's definitely I would call her our medical use. She's always helping out, taping people, massages, rolling people out, always helping in that manner. And then of course, Abby's mom, Coach Beeper, she's our big post, because she played
at Albany and Southeastern.
Yes. So She helps our post players a lot and helps. I mean, our post players did amazing this year too, way better than I think they've done in past years. So Coach Beeper definitely has improved our post play and helped that out a lot. And then of course,
I'm holding my breath.
You better not forget she'll kick you in the back.
She could leave me out, actually, Parker.
Ladies, y'all might be too young to have watched Coach's interview last year, but what I'll tell you I remember well is she gave herself no credit, okay? She was telling about how all the success came from the assistant coaches. So please talk about Coach Patricia Landaiche, because I know she won't give herself credit.
Coach Trish is aside from basketball, she is really good at getting to know all of her players on a personal level and creating that bond with her players, to where there's a true trust on the court, and there's that there's no doubt in my mind whenever Coach Trish tells me anything, yes, I trust you 1,000%. I'm doing that. And she's also just so intelligent in the game, just so smart and knowledgeable on everything. There's just no doubt. And I think that's what really helps our team, because we all trust our coach. And there's never should I do that? No, it's always we're doing what our coach says. She's just amazing. And I love our coach.
You're going to make her cry. That's the other thing she did a year ago, was she cried and teared up when we started talking about the people that love her. Let me make sure I have these names right so all these wonderful women get their due, because everybody knows head coach Patricia Landaiche. She's a local legend. She's won 200 games. We mentioned Coach Lauren Long. Coach Gill, I think, is Coach Christy Gill. Is that right? Coach Dana, who you mentioned, is Dana Ingraffia. And ladies, correct me if I mess this up, because I make mistakes every week on here. And then the post player we talked about, that's Coach Amanda Miller, right? And what'd y'all call her? Was it Coach B? It sounded like a nickname. I didn't quite pick that up.
Coach Beeper.
Okay, cool. She's a wonderful woman. I think she's my parents' neighbors, and that great family, great folks. Thank you for sharing that with us. We got a few more comments here I want to share. And speaking of Coach Landaiche's family, once again, her niece Emily Bougier Hatfield is here, and she is also another former Strawberry Queen, a dear friend and former roommate of my wife, and the mother of the current Strawberry Queen. And of course, everybody knows the Strawberry Festival is coming up. So folks, if you haven't marked your calendar yet, we're now weeks away from that. And I know you guys want to turn out and see these state champions walking the grounds. I don't know if the bling bling rings can come in by then, but you guys are going to be a much bigger deal at this Strawberry Festival than you've ever been in your life. But back to Emily, her comment says, you guys are legends, the greatest coaches and players, and she loves y'all so much. Lark Thibodeau has chimed in to say, congratulations to you all. 2 state championships in 7 years speaks to you and your program. And a blast from the past here, Coach Sydney Wilkinson was probably the Coach Trish when you were a player at PHS, right? That's a former PHS football coach. And he says congratulations to both the coach and all the Lady Waves. Coach Wilkinson, thank you so much for tuning in. Coach Trish, what's it like to see the legends of your own childhood, like Coach Wilkinson, chiming in and giving you and your team props? What's that mean to you?
I was very blessed to see Coach Sydney during the football season. He came, showed up for one of those, and I was just so excited. Went down there, talked to him forever, and it's very humbling to see them and to know that how I looked up to them back in the day and how they molded me, and I respect them so much.
I want to ask you guys, I joke about the bling coming in here. Tell me about the rings. Like, what you guys have to be excited about that. Do y'all know the timeline yet on when those come in, or how does all that work? Does the team need donations to help pay for rings? Because businesses like mine would love to get involved. Tell me how that works and what you need. And we got to get these girls, sparkled up as soon as we can.
Yeah, we had a meeting yesterday, and some people like a girl's ring, and some other people like a big ring. And so we're still debating on the actual design of it, but I'm sure we can compromise some kind of way. And as far as the money part of it, I think we got the rings covered. First Guaranty Bank reached out and offered to pay for it. And so that's great. But we do have a lot of other expenses, because the further we go in the season, the more patches you have to buy and, awards like that. So we can always use your donation, but we appreciate your support you've given us all year.
Well, look, I'm happy to play a small part, but why don't we share with our viewers, while the attention of the town's on you, how we can go about donating? Because you're right. When you play all over the state, as you mentioned, and y'all do that early in the season. Remember, folks, they're playing on the road all over the state, at Thanksgiving, at Christmas, etc. All that costs a lot of money. So how do we make our checkout, Coach? Remind me, because I've forgotten since the last time I written one. Is it to the high school, the booster club? Give us some help on where to send it and how to do it.
You could send it to the school, to Ponchatoula Lady Wave, and the check can be made to PHS or Ponchatoula Lady Wave. Okay. And we really, really appreciate y'all, because even though we played in Hammond, Wednesday night we stayed in a hotel in Hammond, and then Friday night we didn't have a place in Hammond, so we went down to Covington and stayed there. So it was important that I kept the kids with me and kept them level-headed, put them to bed on time, took their phones from them, and woke them up and moving that next day. So I think that played a strong role in it.
Wow, it must have been heck to get those phones turned over. I bet that was no fun for anybody. Go ahead. Hey, well, I just want to share with you guys, and I don't know, maybe some of y'all did this at PARD, but as I mentioned, my little kindergarten team stops playing this weekend, and I coach with my buddy Marshall, and I also sponsor the team. And I've been joking with Marshall that because they don't keep score at kindergarten, we were guaranteed to finish the season undefeated. So we went out and got a little bling for our guys. The kids don't know it yet, so if they're watching at their team party this weekend. So, ladies, if you can't wait for those First Guaranty Bank real rings to come in, this is $9.99 on eBay. So, if you don't like the ring the coach picks out, you can fake it till you make it. But I know how cool that's going to be for you guys, because that's going to be something you carry throughout the rest of your life. Let's turn back to the subject of inspirations for you, because you did a great job of talking about the coaches on your team and the different things they bring to the table in the way of guidance and example, etc. but I'm sure that you players have had other examples along the way, be it parents, teammates, friends, childhood coaches who inspired you. Would you mind telling me about who's inspired you in the past?
I sure would. Obviously, each one of our parents have played such a huge role in our basketball lives, and I like to thank all of them. Old players we used to watch. For me personally, a local player, Coach Asia. Well, now she's a coach at Southeastern, but she used to play for Southeastern as well. And all coaches down the road that we've played since, we've been in grade school and stuff like that. And one of mine is Coach Charles, and he has just put that drive and that heart in me to love the sport of basketball.
Thank you for sharing that. Any other ladies on the team want to talk about inspirations of yours, people who have inspired you along the way?
Definitely my dad. He always pushed me in basketball. Every year he would just push me to be the best I could be. And then my older sister Kate, she is 3 years older than me. She plays at LA Tech right now. Every game of one-on-one that she beat me in pushed me to work harder than the other player.
Very cool.
I would have to say my parents. They signed me up for AAU at a very young age. My dad, he works me out every day. I think that's really made me the person I am today. And then I also have an older sister. And yeah, like Libby said, she beat me in one-on-one sometimes.
Hey, nothing better than sibling rivalry to get you going, right?
Yeah, not all the time, but sometimes. But and then for her freshman year, she won a ring. So seeing that, it kind of pushed me to want to get one as well. I think that's really cool.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Who else has a good inspiration they'd like to share? Anybody? Well, I tell you what I'll do then. We've got some more comments coming in here. And, we were talking about that great Lewis family that I love so much. And y'all heard me mention my pal Cortana. So she's on here now saying, congratulations, Lady Waves. TT is proud of you. So TT, I wish I'd have known that nickname 25 years ago in homeroom. I'd have had some fun with that. And Cortana's saying nice things about me too here. Justin Lewis also is coming on here to say how proud he is. Good to see that family turning out. And I got to say, speaking of the Lewis family, my little team I'm coaching, it's probably no coincidence that the star player is the daughter of a former great Lady Wave player, Christy Lewis, and Reese Whitaker. He's just a fantastic athlete. In fact, his brother, I think, goes to high school with you guys. But that's a great family, man. Martinez Lewis was my dear friend in high school, and tons of great athletes. So it's good to see y'all still getting it done for the Wave. Amy Gervais comes on here to say that she is proud, a super proud mom, and congrats to all of you players and coaches. April Smiley says congratulations, team, and Liliana. Coach Danny Dunn's on here saying congrats, and you just made the whole team proud. And that is so true, Coach. These guys have made the whole team proud. Let me ask you, has anybody seen kind of a difference in the attitude, the spirit, just state of mind in Ponchatoula? Because frankly, we're coming off some really rough years, right? I mean, all the COVID stuff, the economy, the uncertainty. Now there's war in Europe. You guys have brought this bright, shining light to town. And for me, I just feel like things have just been great this last week. Have y'all noticed a difference, since your parade and your win and all good stuff that's happening? Anything in particular? I mean, are you getting, people giving you free chicken nuggets when you go eat places, or what's it like? Like to the champion?
I've been getting a lot of phone calls, and one that stood out to me yesterday that I got was a local man told me, he said, "Tricia, I have not been this happy in a long time." And I think it just brought the community together, and to see the crowd that was in those staying at night, that was for us and cheering for us, and down in the stretch and they yelling defense, defense, defense. I was overwhelmed with the support we had, and that's what pushed us through, and that's what intimidated the heck out of Parkway.
I bet. And I want to share something here. with on the screen, your team photo is it's just awesome. It's incredible. But I love this where it says, "This is our house." And obviously all year you come to Ponchatoula, it's been your house and you guys have turned out. But wasn't it true? And do you agree? Southeastern was your house come the big night, right?
100%.
I mean, we may not have technically been at home, but like you say, Coach, the town turned out. Did it feel like a home game? What was that like?
It felt, we weren't nervous. It felt normal. It was just like a normal feeling. We always had the support of the older community, but then the support of our student section really made us have a good turnout. It kept us going in the double overtime.
Thank you for sharing that. There's another great comment come in earlier. Y'all were talking about Coach Beeper, and Miss Faye says, "Abby, you look just like your mom, known as Beeper in high school." And she says she was a great player and has a heart of gold. So I thought I'd share that with you. Let me ask you this. I'd like to turn our attention to the big game. And of course, there's so much excitement to talk about there. But before we do, let's talk about kind of the Goliath that we had to slay to get there. And, you know, in particular, and I know this is a team sport and they're a great team and we want to give the whole team due. But when you come in playing against a player like Michaela Williams, who seems to be the consensus #1 junior in the country, for me, that seems like, okay, we're David, she's Goliath. How do we stop a super duper star like that? And I'm looking at a team of stars here, right? I mean, I know we've got not only the most outstanding player in the tournament and district MVP, tons of all district, but tell me, you know, do I have it dead wrong? Because I don't have the heart of a champion or the mindset of a player or a coach. Did y'all know kind of what a great player you were coming in against, and what's it like, and how do you game plan for such a singular all-world talent like that?
Okay, Parker, we played them in December, and I was watching the film, and I knew they had the whole package of a team. Besides Michaela, she has the girls around her to compete and to win. And when we played them, before we went in the locker room, I told Beeper, I said, we could beat them one time this year. We can't beat them twice. And she looked at me. She said, today's not the day. And I said, exactly. And so I went in the locker room and I put like a skeleton game plan together. We went in, we played a straight up 1-2-2 defense. We did not do any face guarding. We didn't do any triangles and twos or any trash defense that we'd like to run against teams like this. And I told the girls to trust me. And we went out there, and it didn't matter what we ran that day. We were ranked #1. They were ranked #3, and they wanted to beat us really, really, really bad. And Presley had just broke her leg, so we didn't have her. Jada was working on a bad ankle, and Amaya and Lily, they stepped up. They played outstanding during that time. I mean, y'all are amazing. Not just have to say y'all are amazing. And but during that game, we didn't do all that stuff. We threw a little man at them in the second half, stopped the bleeding a little bit. But when we went to go walk in that locker room after, we stood outside about 5 minutes for them to change, and they didn't. And we walked in, and I was like, "What's going on?" And they were sitting there just so mad. They hated that we lost. And I was like, "Ladies, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You got to trust me. We're going to face them in the playoffs, and we're going to get them. You've got to trust me." And the night before, when we played Walker, we were in the stands, and I told Lauren Long, I said, I want Parkway to win. And she kind of looked at me like I was crazy. And because it was a going back and forth game. And I told her, I said, and she said, why? I said, we have them primed to beat, and we're going to get them. I said, I want Parkway right now. And so she was like, oh, okay. And because I knew we had the talent, and we had all the dynamics that we had to do to shut her down. We kept her to 6 points in the first half. 9.
Amazing. Yeah, we were just blown away at the defense. Your intensity was incredible.
Like these girls, you ask them to do something, and they just go above and beyond to do whatever you ask, and they're going to stop whoever needs to be stopped. And it doesn't matter. I mean, Presley, we needed to stop LaRon that night. She goes and takes 2 charges on their best player, and she was about to take the third one, and she broke her leg. And so she for like 13 games and stuff. And then she's back in this game playing better than she did ever before. You know, it's just they do whatever you ask.
Let me ask one of your players, Coach, or any of the players that want to speak to this. What's it like in that moment? Back to the Parkway game 1. You guys have gone from, you know, with your success last year and into this year, y'all have gone from being the hunters to being the hunted. Like Coach said, everybody's getting up to play y'all because, you know, they want to beat y'all. At that point, you're number one. They want to knock y'all off the pedestal. And you guys are wanting to fight and protect that turf. And here's your coach holding back, it sounds like, okay? And you guys know you've got other defenses you could throw at. And you guys know the play the coach is not calling would be more effective than what she is. Now, Coach has shown us over the years she's playing chess when others are playing checkers. You know, she's revealing us. But what was that like in the heat of the moment as a player? You know, and did any of y'all, let's be candid, let's be real here. Did any of y'all have trouble with that? Did any of y'all struggle with that and be like, Coach, what the heck? I mean, tell us what that was like.
You can be honest. Be honest. To play Portway first game.
First game, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was bad. I'll say I was more mad at myself. It wasn't my best game. I kind of felt like I let my team down because I played better than I did. But I'm just glad we won now. That's really all I
mean. Yeah. Wait.
Does anybody else have any thoughts on that?
Anybody
that was very well said.
Anybody want to admit you were mad at me?
Yeah, no, Coach, these guys need playing time. They don't want to come. Only a senior can come the real story.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But you know what, though? I bet, and ladies, you can just nod at this, you know, if you agree. I bet you're way more likely to trust Coach next season if something pops up like that, right? And so I hope, you know, speaking from earlier, turning back to little eyes on you, I hope if we've got little eyes, whether it's the freshmen on your team there or the kids at the junior high playing for, you know, them now, that they're watching and learning from that, right? Because it's hard. It's hard, you know, sometimes to trust your coach when you don't agree in the moment with what they're doing. But when you got a genius coach like y'all have, it's worth doing. Tell me this, ladies, you know, we talk about the game. Give me, if you will, some of your personal highlights from your perspective. Like when you think back to the big game, the championship you won, whether it's the tightness of 2 overtimes, the comeback, you know, the defensive, you know, intensity, all of the, what jumps out at you as the memory individually that you think will last? Was it this certain shot being hit? Was this, you know, team coming together, this play working? You know, what are your memories? And let's just kind of go around the horn, pass the mic. I'd love to hear kind of multiple perspectives of what are the big memory you're going to have from this game.
I'm not going to talk about me individually. I just want to talk about like the greatness of the team. And one thing that I think that stands out about our team, and Michaela and her teammate and her coach said this in an interview, they said our discipline. Our discipline goes miles and lengths from start of the season and obviously to the end of the season. It really put us over the top. And I feel like us locking in and having that discipline and listening to all of our coaches really put us over the top. And I give credit to everybody on the team for having that discipline.
Very great point.
Like Coach said in the first game, we didn't come out in our press that we've came out in every single game, but that one. So we knew we had to do, and the press is what really got us going in that game. And I'd just like to say the defense is probably what won us the game overall. And me personally, I knew what I had to do, and it wasn't score in that game. It was to hold Michaela to what she had to do. And yes, and I would like to say Taylor, her defense came back in that end of the first half, getting those straight. I think it was 6 points back to back. Really gave us our intensity to come back in that third quarter, because we also struggled with that going into the third quarter with a little bit of less energy. But I feel like we've kind of overcome that as the playoff seasons have came about.
I got to tell you, some of you guys may have future in media because I'm really, this is impressive. You guys, you know, ESPN may be looking at you guys one day. But please, we're ready for the next comment. But I just want to commend all y'all doing so well here.
During the game, we all trusted each other. I feel like at the beginning, we were calm. It was not like we were excited. We were just like chill. We knew what we had to do. So during the game, you know, I felt like a connection. It was like I trusted them. Although we had some rough times during that game, I knew that I could trust my sisters. And we learned throughout the whole season, and not just this season, but the past seasons, that they're not just my teammates, they're my sisters. So when Jaylee was going through her rough era, I knew that I had to step up. I was going through my rough era. I knew she could have my back because she's my sister. So yeah.
I love that perspective of sisterhood. And I saw your whole teammate, not all your sisters nodding with you as you said that. And I can just tell you guys are in unison. Please give us the next thought. This stuff's been great.
I think for me, and for everybody's gonna remember Jaylee's 3 to tie the game for sure. But I remember I think Presley was shooting a free throw in one of the overtimes, and I just looked up and I saw all of the bottom stadium filled, and then even people up in the top. And it's just crazy that everybody came out to support us and to watch us and help us win that championship.
Amen.
I think what is most gonna stick with me from this game is more like the adrenaline and the feeling during that game, because for whatever reason, it just felt like underdogs all year long this year. I felt like everyone kind of went into that game just kind of thinking that we were gonna lose, besides our fans. But like all the basketball kind of connoisseurs, I guess you would say, just kind of counted Parkway in on that. And I think it was just that first feeling of getting to overtime, obviously with Jaylee's 3, like, that was amazing. And then to keep fighting over and over again and to like just finish, it was just the most like exhilarating feeling to feel like, not that we proved ourselves in a way, because in the past 2 years we've unfortunately like not held up to what our standard, I guess. So it just felt like a sense of proving ourselves, an accomplishment. Yeah, kind of get what we deserve.
Very cool.
Okay, so I didn't really play as much that I did in other playoff games as I did in the championship game. But with that being said, the most important thing that stood out to me was the bench. I feel like without the bench, that they at one point Alyssa was at the free throw line while we were out inbound the ball, and that the whole stands were going crazy. Our bench was going crazy, and I really just think that our bench has pushed us over through our limits and through all of our trials and tribulations this entire season. And without that, I mean, I don't think that we would have been as successful as we were.
You know, Coach House Coach Drake makes a good point here about how your body language never shifted and how impressive that is. That even when you're down by 3 with 7 seconds left, you know, you guys appeared to have that winning mindset the whole time. And that's rare at any level, but as she says, it's incredibly rare at the high school level. So Jennifer was a state champion runner in her day in high school. So she knows the mindset of a champion. I was there. I saw her kicking butt all over the state when we were in school. So that's cool that she recognized that in you guys. We have a few other comments here I'd love to share here. Tanya Ashton says, congratulations, Jaylee. We love you and all the girls. Tiffany Grady, Taylor Jackson. Jaylee, well, you're the truth. But guys, thank y'all all for tuning in. All of you that are leaving comments. And Sean here says, congratulations, Lady Wave. So proud of you, ladies. They love you, Amaya, from Nana and Grandpa. So cool to see your family turn out. And several of you mentioned what it meant to you to see the folks in the stands. Have I talked over anybody? Was anybody else looking to say something? Because I kind of lost track. Okay. Just want to make sure everybody gets their input. Oh, please go. Was somebody talking? No? Okay. Coach Trish, what else would you like to share with our viewers? What else would y'all like to make sure the people here watching take away from your season?
Well, before we get off of this, I would like to introduce everybody, all the players.
Oh, but, please, yeah.
My kids are really smart, Parker. I have several
Obviously.
of them that are 4.0s. These two got recognized. Presley Walls and Jada Clark, they got recognized before the game for the academic all-state.
Academic all-state, right?
Which is a 4.0 their whole 4 years. Now,
wow.
Abby Fowles here. Fowles. I always just Abby. She I'm getting nervous on here. She's a 3.9. And Jaylee right here is a 3.84. I mean, that's right here. And then my juniors back there, I know Libby is a 4.0. This Libby Thompson. Taylor Jackson right here. She is a 3.8.
You guys are the total package.
They're all over 3.0s. They're all up there. So I'm very proud of that. Then I just wanted to announce the all district. I think it's been published yesterday, but we have Jaylee got MVP of our district, and then Jaylee. This is Jaylee Womack, by the way.
Yeah, and Coach, if you don't mind, I can bring this up. So yeah, I've got. I hope the district MVP, and weren't you also the tournament most outstanding player for the Final Four? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, that's incredible. And I think, Coach, I can move this around where we'll see the first team all district. You want to name those while I got them up on the screen?
Well, it's really small, but I think that's Jaylee Womack on the left, Taylor Jackson, Jada Clark, and Libby Thompson up there.
Congratulations, ladies. And of course, we had a ton of all district here. On the second team,
you got Presley Walls right here and Maya Jervay right here.
That's amazing. And finally,
Abby Fowles. I keep saying Fowles. Abby Fowles. And Liliana Bush right here. And that was the easiest all district meeting I've ever gone into. It was amazing. They gave me everyone, oh my gosh, what the heck? They knew what we had. And I was very honored to walk out of that meeting with that lineup.
Well, let me ask you this question, because you're very it's a smart idea and a great honor to have so many all district players. So it's very smart of you to recognize them. How do you go about reloading? Because it seems like just a year ago you had a different district MVP. I'm thinking of Amora Graves here. Of course, other great seniors go on, but she's getting playing time as a freshman at Auburn. So for us in the fan base, we may look at this and be like, oh no, our superstar just left for college. What are we going to do? And here we are a year later, title in hand. I mean, how do you guys go about reloading? Because we're looking at slide after slide of different levels of all district players. Ponchatoula is not a big town. We don't have, we're not recruiting all over the state here. What's the secret sauce?
Well, I don't recruit. That's number one. I do not recruit.
Right. You better not. We'll all be in trouble.
Local schools, and I show my face there, and I let them know that I want to come to the school that they're supposed to come to. But when they get here, I am so excited. And but the deal is, the way we're going to get better, and we're going to be better next year, is that this kid right here came up to me and found me. This is Alyssa Hilliard. She came up and found me on Monday morning and said, Coach, can I start staying after school every day this week and start practicing? And I'm like, I need to go home this week. I'm tired. I need to go home. Yeah. But during seventh hour PE, her and Morgan Watkins, who's over here on my left, they're out there doing Z drill, which is not a fun drill, and working on their defense and offensive ball handling skills. And then you have Riley Davis that's down on the end. She's out there shooting. And it's just, I sat there, I took pictures. I'm sitting there, I was just so proud that they're out there without me. You don't have to dress out right now. We're tired. And
And you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and guess they learned by example from our MVP. Because I see here Johnny Womack. Hey, he's talking to you, Miss MVP. He says, Jalen, meet me at the gym. We're going to work out after the interview. So nobody on this team's resting on their laurels. The work never stops. And it's also, I'm wondering, Coach, what are we putting in the water these days? Because on all three young players you just mentioned, I noticed when you looked at them left and right, you're looking up in each case. I mean, we've got some tall, athletic, talented girls here. And
Yes, sir.
that's super exciting. Well, let me just, I know we're about to run out of time here. And of course, I'm going to, get out the way, let y'all talk about anything you want. But I would love to hear about goals for the future for those of you that are seniors, looking on, kind of what's next, what's in the future. Because Coach, you showed us earlier, these ladies are much more than just ball players. They're incredible champions on the court, but they're as good or better in the classroom where they're getting it done. Everybody's a good student. Many are great students. I'd love to hear what your dreams and goals are for the future, ladies, because I'm looking in there and seeing doctors and lawyers and executives and mamas and everything. That's and hopefully we need some coaches because Coach Trish can't coach forever. But what do y'all plan to do in the future? Would anybody be willing to share some of your plans or hopes or dreams?
I'll start for the four of us. Although I'm not going for basketball, I'll be going to Southeastern Louisiana University starting in the fall, where I'll be majoring in communication sciences and disorders. And my aspiration has always been to be a pediatric speech pathologist to help little kids, have a voice in life that they don't have.
You just hit me right here. I have two boys. They're 4 and 6, and they both get speech services. And they go to Southeastern for speech camp in the summer. And that is so important that the work that you want to do is among the most important in the world. So thank you for sharing that. Anything I can personally do to help you, I would love to, because I've seen in my own life how important it is to give kids a voice and help them, get clearer. And that's just wonderful. So thank you for sharing.
I'm not going for basketball either. I'm going to the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and I'm going for a major in biology with a concentration in veterinarian sciences. And then I'm hoping to go into vet school to be a veterinarian.
Why the laughing there at the vet? Is that big animals, small animals, both?
Oh yeah, I want to work with like dogs. If I could, I would only work with dogs. But
Okay.
be like pets, yeah.
Cool.
It's in my turn. Okay, sorry. Thankfully, I've been blessed to play basketball for the next 4 years. So I plan on moving away from home to Mobile to play at Spring Hill while majoring in biology, and hopefully, way down the road, I'll have a PT clinic because my most important lesson that I've ever learned playing basketball is to give back. So PT with sports medicine and sports training and stuff like that.
What a great career. And I noticed when y'all mentioned PT earlier in North Oaks, everybody started nodding. So when you look at it, basically all the injuries, the broken legs, the bumps, everybody needs PT. So you'll have plenty of customers or clients or patients. And Madam MVP, what about you? What are your future plans?
So for my next 4 years, I'll be at Toula University in New York.
Green Wave. My alma mater.
Really?
Oh yeah, wait. Check this out. We got a hat right here for you. So what are you going to study?
Well, I'm still trying to figure that out. Right now, I'm just in business, but
cool.
I'm just thinking about it.
Take your time. Tulane is a great school to kind of put off major. I didn't select one until I was a junior, but of course you'll be much busier than I was playing ball. But it's a fun city to go to school in. Congrats on that. Well, Coach, what else would you like to share before we let these ladies get back to their lives?
I have a couple other things. Okay, Isabel Miller here. she's one of my sophomores, and I have Anna Richardson back here. Are you on screen, Anna?
Yes.
Yeah, right there. Those are two of my sophomores. So I wanted to make sure I mention their names, and I want to introduce my managers before we get off. But this setup, seniors right here. I want to give you what their record 4 years that they were here. On their 4-year run, they were district champs 4 years, with 3 of those years being undefeated. They were parish champs 2 out of 3 years. Last year it was canceled because of COVID, and then 1 year we were runner-ups. And they made the playoffs all 4 years with 3 top 28 appearances, and then of course the state championship this year. So I just wanted and their overall wins and losses is 120 wins to 17 losses. Okay, 100
moly.
to 17 losses. So I had it. And then one last thing. I mean, we had like major history this year, but like, okay, where's this thing at? So Jaylee Womack, over her 4 years, she scored 2,864 points. So that's 2,864 points in her 4 years. But this season was 1,030. So to me, that's just insane. I had to throw that out there.
Well, no, that's crap. You know, it's such a big deal to hit the 2,000 point mark. You know, you've seen it so few times. Here we've, back-to-back years. But coach, has there ever been 1,000 point season before at PHS?
No, sir. No, sir.
Wow, I'd never heard of that. That's incredible. Whoa.
No, sir. And I told her before the championship game, I said, Jaylee, you're 2 points away. She didn't know of any of the other times that I stopped the game. But I told her, I said, baby, 2 points away from 1,000 this season. I'm sorry, I can't stop the game. And she was like, oh, no problem, no problem. And her parents were the same way. I was like, I can't waste the time out of that. And I said, just know when you shoot it and you make it, that's your 1,000 for the season.
Wow.
So
Jaylee, all that time with your dad working you out, it worked, right? I mean, it paid off. Tell us about that, Jaylee. What's it mean to you to set those records, to leave with all those wins? You know, to be the leader of this incredible group of women on the court, what's that? What are you feeling as you hear Coach talk about you?
It means a lot. It feels amazing just to know that all the hard work that I'm getting results out of it. So I'm just really happy.
Well, I really admire not only your accomplishments, but your attitude and your humility. All of you. I mean, you ladies are incredible. You're beautiful. You're talented. You're hardworking. You're smart. I could go on. We'd be here all night. And of course, I'm not alone in thinking this much of you. Coach Wilkinson is back on here chiming in to say what an impressive group of ladies you are. Such poise. You're so expressive. He's loved watching this show, and Coach, he says great job. Tanya Ashton, again, great group of ladies. You make us all proud. Ronette Wright says that she loves your comments about defense, the bench, and especially being a family. Those little things make a huge difference, and she congratulates you. I promised you I would get you out of here on time, so I don't want to keep y'all forever. Is there anything else, Coach, or any of you would like to talk about before we go?
My managers in, and I have one of them's right here is Maya Joseph, and over on the other side is Adriana Thomas. And and then I have one that is off screen right now and can't come. Don't think so. Is Hunter Reno, and then earlier we had Gabrielle Selders, and they put up with me. They know my little quirks, that the way I want things done, and they are there for me, and they make things happen. And Parker, I can't thank you enough for having us on today. It's been a blast.
It's been so fun for me, and watching you guys win it all and succeed and represent our town from the cheap seats has been such a pleasure. And I know I speak for the whole community when I tell you, thank you. We needed this as a community. It was so special this fall watching our boys kick butt in football, and it brought pride to our town. And of course, it broke our hearts a little bit when it didn't come through. Our hearts broke a little bit last year because we hoped that we would be sitting here like this. So to see y'all do it, to show the resiliency, to come back after last year, do what you did this year, to come back and you know, stay in there with Parkway until the last second of the final overtime. You know, yeah, it's just, there's not enough good things to say about this team. I mean, y'all are awesome. And, you know, now you're history. I mean, you will forever be the state champions and the Ponchatoula. Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I mean, you're the winningest, best team ever over 4 years. So there's so much to be proud of. And I just want to say thank you. Congratulations. And as you know, on behalf of the town, we love you. Y'all take care. So thank you all. And thank you, Coach, for leading the way. You're a fearless leader. And to our viewers, thank you all for chiming in and tuning in. It's good to see you.